What's going on, you guys? My name is Rayge, and we are back today with a Dark Dimension 7 and Gear Tier 19 progression update in regards to my free-to-play account. I've been doing this every month ever since the beginning of the Gear Tier 19 getting added into the game. More of a way to track, but as well as see how long it actually takes for us free-to-play folks to enter into Dark Dimension 7 if we're going through the normal store purchases, progressing through doing raids each day, as well as now that we do have the season payouts actually including Gear Tier 19. That's huge. We also have an update here in regards to the blog. So in today's video, we're going to be going through my account, giving you a look at what my inventory level looks like and how close we are going to be to starting Dark Dimension 7 here, completely free to play. So without further ado, let's get started. First and foremost, guys, if you guys are watching this and you're entering the end game, just as a heads up, I do believe that this gold store is only accessible if you already hit level 95, but what you should be able to do is purchase this crimson gear that's available, right? It's quite expensive right now. They haven't changed this in terms of costing, but essentially these are only ways right now that you can access crimson gear, which is through the gold store, through purchasing directly with gold. And as well, when you're doing the day-to-day incursion raids, you're going to get rewarded with these crimson gear raid orbs in addition to armor 19 orbs. And over time, you can open these, and this is essentially how I've been building up 99% of all my gear right now. With the recent season update that they've done a few weeks back, that's given us an additional infusion. Now, also, what was recently announced in the May 2024 blog post is that more Crimson Raid Orbs are actually going to be coming in the way of the purchase through Elite Raid credits. So, if you guys recall, these Elite Raid credits were previously used to grab and earn additional Awakened abilities, more specifically for both Nova and Black Cat. And it does look like they're making this change actually as of May 10th at 2 p.m. Pacific time. So, take advantage of that. It's just going to give you another avenue here to actually earn additional Gear Tier 19 resources. Now, just to give you guys a quick recap of what's happened to my account, as well as you can see kind of the exponential growth. This was the 1 week update, right, where we didn't have any of the raid season updates, as you can see, but in total we had 262 catalysts relatively. We had 72 origin gear pieces and 13 mini uniques, and also Crimson Miasma, because the first character I really want to bring up is Robbie Reyes himself, just because he's such a staple in Dark Dimension, and as well connecting him with the city section does make sense, so that way we're getting some value there, right? Then I think this was about a month ago where I did do the 1 month update here in respect to this gear, and you can see how much exponentially this grew because of the 1 month of building up resources. But as well, we also finally saw the season updates happening with the raids, where there was a significant amount of orbs getting rewarded every 2 weeks. So you can see that big jump from 262 catalysts in 1 week all the way to over 1700. We also expedited our origin gear. We had more mini uniques as well, and then we also actually fortunately lucked out with the calendar, where they rewarded everybody that was logging in daily with extra 6 pieces of miasma gear. So I went from 8 pieces to 14 pieces after claiming in the calendar, which was I think was phenomenal as a big update. I also want to talk about here, guys, now finally my 2 month update here, and what I wanted to do is something a little different, because in the past I've just kind of grouped up all my different uniques, the catalysts, the different mini uniques, as well as origin gear. This time around, I wanted to consolidate every single unique that I had for the top Dark Dimension 7 tunes that players are likely bringing in. So you can see here from left to right, we got Super Scroll requiring the Alien Spores there, 14 pieces there. Black Knight needing Arcane Magic at 15. Apocalypse needing 21 pieces of the Astral Energy. Vulture, in my honest opinion, is going to be a staple, as you can see, needing that Hammer Tech, so you got 17 pieces there. Robbie now well over the 18 pieces that you need at 20. We got Craven, I think, slotted in right now. Still debating that back and forth, but again, nothing's confirmed yet. 16 pieces of the Molecular. We got Miss Marvel, Hardlight, or Namor, depending on which way you want to go. 12 pieces of the Prometheum. And then we also have Kang the Conqueror at 14 pieces of the Quantum. And finally, we have Kestrel and Val, respectively, 16 pieces Shield and 13 pieces of Osmium. So overall, I wanted to share this with you guys because obviously in the past, last month or two that we've been doing these updates, we haven't actually gone through all the uniques, and it just gives you a sense here of, you know, how complete we really are. This is 10 of the top Dark Dimension 7 toon characters, and you can see how close we're getting, especially from a unique standpoint. Typically, these are the big bottlenecks, right? But what I also want to showcase for you guys in today's video anyways is another bottleneck to be mindful of, because although the uniques were getting very, very close, I started taking a look at, you know, what else is needed in order to start Dark Dimension 7. And keep in mind too, this is the top 10 uniques that I have right now in my inventory. Obviously, it doesn't count for the other ones that I'm still working on, but again, those numbers don't compare because these ones I'm very, very close. And if you recall, with each character needing to get to gear tier 19, you actually need 18 pieces of each of these uniques to bring them up. Now, this is kind of what I wanted to show you guys here. I added those 10 characters that I previously listed here, and I put that into the Dark Dimension 7 planner. Again, guys, this is a phenomenal resource to start planning. So this is, again, located on marvelstrikeforce.com. If you click on the profile and actually go to your actual roster, then there's an actual selection there piece. I'll link a video below if you guys just need help accessing that Dark Dimension planner, because it's such a great hack to go in and start planning, seeing what your resources look like. Now, what I have on screen is what I want to showcase for you guys, because there's obviously some really, really big bottlenecks that we need to be paying attention to, and that helps us focus in on what we should be buying from a day-to-day perspective when you do see these purchases in store. Number one, for these 10 characters anyways, and obviously you're going to get it over time, guys, but you can see here, we actually need an insane amount of catalysts. More specifically, the basic catalyst, we still need over 1900, health over close to 800, focus, you know, close to that 700 mark, and then even the damage catalyst close to 600. So it's easy to kind of forget about this, because over time it takes up, you know, a significant amount when you're building up these characters over time. And again, because we're honing in on those uniques, sometimes we lose sight of all the accumulation of these, right? Next up is the origin gear. So across the board, you know, they're cheap to purchase, 10 pieces for 200k, but you kind of lose track of that when you're focused on the uniques and mini uniques, just because they cost 800k and 400k a piece. So obviously that builds up over time, but that right now is the focus. And remember, this on screen right now is showing you guys here for 10 characters, and you can see kind of where the differences I need to make up in order to bring in 10 toons. But lastly, it's the mini uniques and the uniques that aren't as prominent, although they do cost more. Over time, you're going to be getting it through opening the orbs and then seeing those select purchases that do come. So it's definitely not a key focus, but obviously when you see it in store, like the osmium, the miasma, alien spores, and so forth, they're gonna make a huge difference over time. But it remains to be seen, guys. The catalysts are such a big component of this, and origin gear, so make sure you're not completely ignoring that, because at the end of the day, those are very, very important resources, and they're also required to bring up the characters. Now, so guys, I just want to leave this with you at the end of the day when you're looking through and making your store purchases. And remember, it is a marathon and not a sprint. Be strategic in the store purchases. Just remember, you know, that catalyst and origin gear are very, very important. Just as important as the minis, just as important as the uniques. Heck, maybe even more so, just because of how much you actually need over time when you're building up. You know, but by the time this is said and done, there's gonna be well over 20 characters that you need to complete Dark Dimension 7 for Mephisto. The uniques will actually be okay over time. That's also the other message I was trying to drive home, is that you saw it with the other 10 toons. We're very, very close to all of them. It's more so the uniques and the catalyst and the orange gear that needs that additional focus in addition to the minis. And finally, from what we've seen anyways, Scroll and Apocalypse seem essential in the first 3 nodes, hence why I do recommend having that focus on that. I think they're going to make it easier, but if you guys are, you know, obviously just more focused on just getting some daily progression in, I don't think they're required. They just make it easier, as Apocalypse did himself initially when he was utilizing Global for Dark Dimension 6. So hopefully this helps you guys out. Let me know what you think, comment for your time, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.